right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Night Owl edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. Yes, vote for us, vote for us. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. He is Mizzle, I am Dub, and this is a NBA playoff edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. And Sunday afternoon was some very, very highly quality, entertaining basketball. And tonight was more of seeing the better team being the better team. As you can see, he's supporting both of his teams on his lanyard, but he's actually wearing the Sixers tonight. And of course, I went with the first championship shirt for some good mojo magic.
I remember that one. I remember we hung up the phone with each other. I'm like, I'm ordering my shirt. I'll call you right back. That's how that night went.
But we'll definitely start with what happened on Sunday night, and then we'll talk about what happened during tonight's games. But going back to Sunday, if you were a fan of basketball, you enjoyed the fourth quarter that was the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics.
Wow. Wow.
Back and forth. But for one thing, I know we give him much flack of the whole not wanting to only being allowed to play on the road, but when he's on the court, Uncle Drew is something special. He really is. I mean,
you know what? I really think that the Boston fans should just shut up and watch basketball because you're giving that man all the ammunition that he needs. I mean, he doesn't need the ammunition, but you heard his interview. You heard what he said. Embrace it. Unlike LeBron James, I know I'm jumping off subject. Unlike LeBron James, who wants people kicked out for talking. Come on, bro. Grow some balls.
Yeah. Don't be in your feelings.
Yeah.
Not
they
actually
pay their money to come and heckle you, and you just need to take it.
Yeah. Or you just be like Kobe being Bryant. Don't even have to say a word.
Put the ball in the basket.
Put the ball in the basket. Actually, the playoffs start on Saturday, so we'll go from Saturday to tonight. Obviously, in game one, the Warriors, behind the tremendous prowess that was Jordan Poole, they beat the Nuggets 123-107.
Can I speak on that man real quick? Can I speak on that man, Jordan Poole, real quick?
Go ahead.
He has been adopted, and I'm just gonna say is he ain't the redheaded stepchild no more. He is officially a splash brother. Did you see some of the moves he was doing tonight? And not even just tonight in game one. The man was almost a point away from having 230 pieces in his first two playoff games.
That it seemed like in the second half, every three-pointer the Warriors threw up was going for a 4-point play. Because it seemed like he was making one, Steph was making one, Clay was making one.
And Clay still ain't had a Clay game yet. We're still waiting on that, ladies and gentlemen, and you know that's going to happen. Clay's back in the playoffs.
Well, game 6 Clay might not show up to the second round because if it stays like this, the Warriors might be busting out some brooms against the Nuggets. And
I think the Joker gets one.
I agree. I say a gentleman's sweep, but I will say this clearly. The Nuggets miss Michael Porter Jr. and of course they miss Jamal Murray. If you have those two, this easily could have been
we're talking different. We're talking different type of basketball right now.
Yes.
Because Murray can ball his ass off in any arena. It don't matter. Blacktop, your house, my house, he balls.
Just go back to what he did in the bubble, back in the COVID Walt Disney tournament, if you will.
Agreed.
Man played out of his doggone mind.
Agreed.
The Jazz shot the Mavericks in game 1, but more importantly than that, the Minnesota Timberwolves with absolutely nothing to lose go into the grindhouse and just slap the Mavericks and says, "We're here. We are here, and we are here to play." I mean, it was shocking because I mean, you normally don't see people going to Memphis like that and just smack the heck out of them. But Karl Anthony Towns and Mr. Edwards just say, "Wait a minute, hold the beer, and we're here to play." Anthony Edwards was outstanding. He had 36. I mean, Ja had 32, but I mean, it was just wrong. But like I said, the T-Wolves, people forget Minnesota very quietly won 46 games during the season.
And in the beginning of the season, you didn't think they would make 30 games.
No.
Just by how they were playing. But you can say the same thing about the Pelicans, though. The Pelicans just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and before Phoenix pulled away in the fourth quarter, New Orleans got within single digits. But I mean, as we were saying when we were watching the game, you kept saying the Pelicans fight to the final zeros. But then
Triple zero, yeah, all day.
That's not. But then again, that's not shocking because Willie Green is the Monty Williams coaching tree.
Did you see the video I sent you, bruh?
Yes.
He was my coach. Even in high school, when I played ball in high school, I'd have ran through a wall for him. That what he was saying to them players, how can you not? I mean, here and there. Willie Green is a damn good coach. I believe next year the Pelicans will be even better with or without Zion because they will get the talent for Willie Green. And they already have a stud, Brandon Ingram. Don't get me started on that young man. Do not get me started on that young man.
But here's the thing, and I know it was sad to see the duo of CJ McCollum and Dame break up in Portland. But once CJ got to New Orleans, he embraced the city, almost kind of like the way Drew Brees did when he came to the Saints in 2006.
Yeah.
McCollum endorsed himself in the city. He embraced himself in the city, and his teammates rallied behind him, and it showed why they're in the playoffs. Now, I still say Phoenix will win the series, no question. I think New Orleans maybe might get a game, but you think it's a sweep? You think the Suns
it ain't going to even be a gentleman's sweep? The Suns are on a mission, bro.
They are.
They felt they should have won last year. I picked the Suns to win. I slept on Giannis, and I'll never sleep on Giannis again because Giannis is a fucking beast. But this is revenge year for the Suns. And we all know about revenge years. We know about our revenge years. I don't see the. I mean, CJ McCollum is going to have a hell of a game. Brandon Ingram is going to have to play just as well as CJ McCollum. There's going to have to be no mistakes. The Pelicans can't make a mistake in the series. But it's going to be hard for them to win a game.
Well, I mean, not even just to piggyback on that, but remember, yes, you said the Suns are mission, and remember, the Suns were up 2-0 in the finals and never won another game. Milwaukee took 4 straight.
I mean, I rest my case on top of that. But here's the thing: I want it. I think America wants it. The NBA wants it, and us fans deserve it. Please tell me that the Warriors and Suns have to meet in the Western Conference Finals. Please don't tell me it's a simple.
That's the only time they would meet is in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, damn it!
Simply because the winner of the 4-5 series will play the 1 seed if Phoenix advances.
April 19th at 12:47 a.m. in the morning as we're doing this show live. I am calling a Warrior Suns Western Conference Finals. And ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because that bad boy is going to go 7. Because Clay is going to be ready. As you see, Curry has got the legs back going. I mean, 34 points off the bench. I mean, I know I'm skipping ahead. I know I'm skipping ahead on the show, but just let me have my Stephen A. moment right now. But can you imagine that series plus the magnitude of what the viewers are going to watch? I mean,
it's going to give TNT some very damn good ratings. That's for damn sure.
Wow, bro.
The only thing missing would be Marv Albert.
Right. Amen. Everybody's picking the Suns to get back to the finals. But if you pay attention to these medias, what they're saying is if Clay comes back even a fraction of Clay, Draymond stays healthy, Curry gets back on the floor, who's beating the Warriors in 7? We've said this every year they made it to the finals or even the playoffs. Who's beating that team in 7? And we ain't still got playoff Iggy back yet.
No.
So a healthy Warrior team, who's beating them in 7? You can say the Suns, but really, are the Suns really beating them in 7? And I'm not being a homer. I'm not, because the Suns have the talent to win the game in 7. But I just think the Warriors are more battle tested than the Suns are. That's just my opinion. It's going to be a hell of a series. If we still got to get there, they got to still play the game of basketball. We don't know. Injuries can happen here or there.
Yes.
Praying, knocking on wood, that nothing happens to nobody, especially Chris Paul. Chris Paul always gets hurt in the biggest moments, and he's not on the floor to help the team, which I think did Chris Paul play the whole finals? No.
Well, I know he was there in Game 6, and like I said that day,
I don't think he was there games 1 and 2. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but we all know when Chris Paul goes down, that team is totally different.
True. But this year, he missed 15 games.
What was their record?
The Suns did go 11-4 in those games. So
they learned from last year. Basically what they tell me, they learned how to play without him from last year.
Yeah.
Because they were horrible last year without him.
But this is the finals and this is the playoffs, and the magnitude is a lot different than
it is
missing 15 games, because if we go back to history, I go back to the 89 Showtime Lakers. They were trying to three-peat.
Talk to him.
Swept everybody through the Western Conference playoffs. And then the minute Magic Johnson tore his hamstring in Game 2 against the Pistons, that was all she wrote.
Yep.
Because as we know, Irvin was the straw that stirred the drink to what Showtime was and is in that era.
I mean, when you got one player that can play all 5 positions, I mean, I'm not comparing. Don't take the comparison, but it's a slight comparison. That's what Draymond Green is to the Warriors, what Magic Johnson was to the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers. Heartbeat.
Just minus the scoring.
That's why I said, don't take what I said, like full what I'm getting at, but just you saw when Draymond got suspended in that final against the Cavs, what happened?
In 2016, yeah.
So I'm just piggybacking off what you said with that. But yes, I hope nobody gets hurt. But let's roll back on track. Sorry, people. I haven't talked to my brother and done a show in a while, so we ramble when we get together on the show.
It happens, but hey, it's good live TV. So to pinpoint us to finish off a Saturday scoreboard, the Sixers put up 131 against the Raptors, and Tyrese Maxey had 38 of the buckets. Really didn't need much from Joel Embiid in Game 1, but the Sixers handled business in Game 1. Now we go to Sunday, and I got to tell you, there's a part of me that feels like the Miami Heat is perhaps the most disrespected 1 seed ever, because
do you see they're not getting no love on TV? No love.
They're under the radar.
And they're the number 1 seed.
Yes. But it just goes to show you that they like it that way. Don't talk about them. Don't even mention them.
Well, they got a dog. They got a dog as a leader. They got a dog. I was so pissed when Philly let Jimmy Butler just walk out the building. You don't let a talent like that go. And I think he didn't want to play with Ben Simmons.
Well, that's another story for another time. But I mean, first off, Duncan Robinson, have yourself a game, young man, off the bench with 27 of them things.
Big
shooting nine of 10 from the floor, 8 of 9 from downtown. Have yourself a game, young man. But to me, and this is just my 2 cents, but I mean, yes, Jimmy Butler is great, Tyler Herro is great, and all that. But to me, I think the key for Miami is Bam Adebayo.
Oh,
I think as he goes like Udonis Haslem used to be back in those years of Miami.
Don't drop knowledge on these people with Haslem. A lot of our followers probably don't even know who Haslem is, bro. Don't do it to him.
but I'm serious.
No, I agree.
As Bam Adebayo goes, so go the Heat. Because if he's going, that feeds off a Hero, that feeds off of Duncan Robinson. Of course, that feeds off of Jimmy Butler. But I will expect better effort from Atlanta because I guarantee you Trae Young is not going to go 1 for 12.
Don't count out Ice Trae.
Yeah, Trae's not going to go 1 for 12 and 0 for 7 from beyond the arc in game 2. So don't be surprised if Atlanta possibly steals game 2. I still like Miami in the series, but
I got Miami in 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. 6 is being generous.
Well, that very well could be a possibility. Now back to the Celtics and the Nets, which of course ended in 115-114. Tremendous, thrilling finish. And first off, kudos to Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. First guard to win that award since Oakland's royalty, Gary Payton.
And guess who handed Marcus Smart the award?
Gary Payton?
Yep.
Well, of course. From a guard to a guard. But
now before we dabble into this game, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Why did the Nets lose that game? And who was at fault?
Well, you just go back to the last 2 offensive plays for the Celtics.
Jaylen Brown is a beast. So we seen that live. So I know what first play you're talking about. I'm just saying Jaylen Brown is a whole different basketball player.
Yeah, he is. But my thing is, okay, and this has been the unfortunate thing in Brooklyn's ammunition. Brooklyn is coming to the fact that, okay, we can't play defense, so we're just going to outscore everybody. You have to play some type of form of defense to win a title in the National Basketball Association. Doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what, I mean, there's not many teams that were just based on offense that won NBA title. There isn't. I mean, everyone wants to say, yes, when the Warriors were winning, yes, they shoot threes and whatnot, but people forget they were very good in defensive efficiency.
Well, you know what? I even hate to say this. The reason why the Cavs beat the 79 win team, well, not 79, you know what I mean,
73
that year is why LeBron James blocked Iguodala.
He did.
Defense. When Iguodala makes that layup, the Warriors are the greatest team record-wise to win a championship.
Correct.
But LeBron said, hold my beer. It's about to be a long series, bruh.
And made a hell of a play. But people forget it was not LeBron that made the shot. It was Uncle Drew.
Well, it was Kyrie, but we're speaking on defense.
Yes, we are.
And LeBron defense made that happen.
And the question, and here's the question that I'll ask: Iggy gone for the dunk, and that will always be the biggest what if in that particular sequence in Game 7 into 16.
I'll back that your answer up. I'll say 1A, he should have dunked. 1B, head fake. Works every time.
Draw the foul. Yes.
Draw, or just let LeBron fly by.
That too.
Easy. So there's a lot of what if, what's the saying?
If I knew then what I knew now.
Nah, never mind. That's not for the program.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say something that Pops would say, but that ain't for the program.
Oh boy. Oh, he's gonna pull a dad moment. Oh boy. But anyhow, back to the Nets and Celtics. But first off,
wait. Answer the question. Why did they lose? You hit the first part. You didn't finish my second question. It was two-parter.
Great team defense by the Celtics on Brooklyn's last two possessions.
Not where I was aiming for. Why they lost is because KD was clock watching.
Oh yeah, he went to sleep.
Instead of all he had to do was just keep his eye on Tatum. Tatum doesn't make that bad cut, and we wouldn't know what Marcus Smart would have did if
Durant was playing defense. Yeah, KD went to sleep, but also at the same time, give credit because they double team Kyrie to make sure he didn't shoot the ball, and then you have to make Durant throw up a prayer, which was not answered. And kudos to Boston because they did not use their last time out for Brooklyn to get set on defense.
That's trust. That's something that Phil Jackson used to do with his team.
And
that's something that Steve Kerr does with the Warriors.
And not only that, even on that final possession, 4 different Celtics touched the ball. And Marcus Smart had the wherewithal. Yes, he was open. Yes, could take the shot, but he saw a cutting Tatum going to the basket.
He saw the easy shot.
And Uncle Drew trying to reach.
He tried to foul him. That's what he tried to do.
But like Michael Wilbon said today on PTI, he said, instead of Kyrie going for the reach, he should have just stood his ground to make Tatum try to jump over him and possibly draw a charge. But yet, he did not do that, and thus Tatum.
This is why we play the game.
Thus, that's why Tatum got the easy bucket, and thus that's why Boston is up 1-0. But like you and I said during our production meeting before we came on the air, we said they're going to beat each other up, and this is going to go 7.
Oh, it's going to be a brawl.
It's going to be a good old fashioned pure sixer. Because I mean,
one of the two, Kyrie and KD might both fuck around and score 50 points on each game. One of these games, both of them. I see it.
And Boston had 4 in double figures. I mean, you had Tatum with 31, Brown with 23, Smart with 20, Al Horford with 20 and 15.
The old man.
And he did that playing in 41 minutes. Yeah. Al Horford played 41 minutes and got 20 and 15.
Hey, that ice bath had some overtime today.
Yeah, dude. He was definitely feeling himself. And I know coming into this game, the Bulls struggled mightily against the Bucks. But Chicago gave Milwaukee everything that they had. And they just couldn't hit a shot down the stretch, and the Bucks eventually pulled away.
They had a lead for the moment too.
They did.
Oh, they fought. You know what? I know there's no such thing as moral victories or anything, but the Bulls have no reason to hold their head low in that game because they were just a split of a hair winning that game. They were in it not the whole time, but they fought. Fought. That was a hell of a game.
It was. It really, really was. And unfortunately, they couldn't hit the side of a barn down the stretch. And that was the difference in Milwaukee beating them by 7.
Yeah.
Definitely Milwaukee will win the series.
Well, of course. But the Bulls had a chance to steal game 1.
They really, really did. And that lies in the question is, will the Bulls get a game or will it be a sweep? That's just the only question that
there's no such thing as as I said, the moral victory, but I do see that home crowd at least getting them one. Maybe. I don't know, man. Giannis is a problem. Giannis is just that dude.